Y'all, what is happening to the gaming industry? Because I don't think we're okay. Is the PS5 Pro real? Is it serious? Is this the end of all consoles? You should just get a PC at this point, okay? So the PS5 Pro has been announced. And the price tag on this, the price tag for what you're getting on this. They did a showcase where they showed off not even new games. They're just showing off old games and saying, like, look, this is the PS5 and this is the PS5 Pro. Can you spot the difference? I bet you can't, because the graphics, I was looking at this and I wasn't even looking to see, like, this is PS5 and this is PS5 Pro. And I literally at one point was like, I understand that this is better. Oh, wait, that's the PS5 side, not the PS5 Pro. You can't even, I feel like, tell the difference with a lot of these side-by-side comparisons. And I mean, this is supposed to be a console that's also more powerful, but for what it costs, I just don't feel that it's going to be worth it for a lot of people. I mean, consoles already are so expensive at this point. People have to make a choice of what they're going to get because you can't afford, for most people, you can't afford to have a gaming PC, an Xbox, a PlayStation, a Nintendo Switch. You can't afford to have all of these consoles, right? So for most people, you have to pick like one. And when you make this price point so ridiculous, and when you make the console, basically this console is getting to be like when you buy a car at this point. When you buy a car, you know, you go to the lot and you say, hey, I like this car. And they go, cool, cool, cool. This car is this much. Also for like wheels, that's extra. That's basically what's happening with the PS5 Pro. So with the PS5 Pro, it's not only ludicrously expensive with this price point, but it doesn't even come with the basics. So we're looking at a console that is over $700 US. And that does not come with a disc drive. That does not even come with a stand. Can you even use a PlayStation without a stand? Is that good for the console? Will your console still be usable in a few years if you don't have the stand? Or will it be just nothing but dust? It'll be dusty in there. I don't know. I honestly am more of an Xbox gamer, admittedly, than a PlayStation gamer. But I digress. I say this on both sides. I feel like consoles are getting so ridiculous. For me, it goes back to prior generations. This whole thing that's happening with the PlayStation reminds me of when I bought my Xbox One. Okay, so when I bought my Xbox One, it was later. The Xbox One had been out for a while, so we had the Xbox One S, which was a souped up version of the Xbox, basically. And I remember when I was buying my Xbox One, I asked one of the people at the store, I asked them, like, what's the difference between the S and the One? And they basically just said, well, it's like better graphics and stuff. Like, you know, if you're a gamer, or you a gamer, you might want those better graphics. And I looked at it and I was like, okay, but like, what else does it have? And they're like, yeah, that's like the main thing. And I was just like, okay. And it's how much more? Yeah, I'll just get the Xbox One. And I lived my happy Xbox One life. I didn't need the S. It wasn't selling it for me. And so I think the PS5 Pro is going to run into a similar issue here, where everyone that has a PS5 is probably perfectly happy with their PS5. Like, why do you need a Pro? You honestly don't. I feel like they're giving us better hardware, I guess, better graphics, but a PS5 runs perfectly fine. I have a new Xbox, and I love my new Xbox. I love the Series X. I think it's great, but do you need a new console at this point? Only if your games are outdated. Only if they aren't really releasing new games. That's usually the time that I've gotten a new console, because otherwise I just think it's kind of a waste of money. I feel like people forget that there are many of us out here that remember the days when games graphics weren't even good. You know, to me, what makes a game good isn't necessarily that it has to have the best graphics. To me, the idea that I can even look at my hands in a game is amazing still to me. The fact that I can do this in the game and I can see my hands and I have fingers and I can move them all, and I don't have the claw hands, you know, the claw hands from Grand Theft Auto. Do you guys remember that? GTA, that I don't go into the water and see like a cube shark. And even then in Tomb Raider, you know, cube sharks terrified me when I was playing Tomb Raider back in the day. So for me, it's not about just the graphics of a game. It's not about the power of a console. Although the power of a console is somewhat useful in the sense of, you know, you can avoid things like loading screens and things can render more smoothly and it can make your game run more smoothly. That is valuable. But graphics, games are so much more than that. It's about, is it fun? Does it play well? I mean, how is the music in the game? There's a lot of other elements at play when it comes to what makes a game good. And I am one of those people that doesn't even like ray tracing. I would prefer to not have ray tracing on because it just puts more demand on my console. And I'd rather that the game run more smoothly than, you know, I can see like every mote of dust in the light. I don't need to see that. I'm good. I'm good. I can see my fingers, and that's amazing to me. Not to say that there isn't merit for good graphics, but how good does it need to be? I mean, there were moments like when I was playing Hogwarts Legacy or some of the moments when I've been playing Cyberpunk where some of those graphics have taken my breath away. Seeing the castle in Hogwarts Legacy, it brought me to tears when I was playing that game. My inner child was like, oh my gosh, I'm at Hogwarts. It was amazing. However, in Canada, you know what you're paying for this console? You're going to be paying over $1,000 Canadian dollars to get a PlayStation 5 Pro that has a disc drive and has a stand. What's next? Are they going to be charging us for the controller? They're going to be charging us for the wall plug. They're going to be like, here's the console, and then $30 extra for the wall plug. Here's the console, $100 extra for the exterior casing. That's what they're going to be saying. Otherwise, you know, you can't really play it. Your console won't be protected from the elements at all. It's just wild to me. It's just wild to me. Over $1,000 for a console with a disc drive and a stand is just get a PC. Just get a PC. What are we even doing? What are we even doing anymore? Guys, why are people going to buy your console? I personally am waiting to see what the next Switch will be like because I feel like the Switch is going to knock everything else out of the water because I think Nintendo actually gets it right now, at least. They haven't always nailed it, but at least right now, I think they understand trying to appeal to the sense of why we want to have a console beyond just exclusive games or playing games that are new, because if you have an old console, the games aren't going to be released for your console. They actually are trying to think about, why do you want to have a console? What makes a console fun for people? What are some other functions that we can give to people that'll make them want to buy this? You know, like Switch is great because it's not just a stationary console, it's also a portable console. You can travel with it. I think that's such a cool concept. I was really hoping that as we get some more releases that we'd maybe see Xbox and PlayStation play with that idea, because I would love to have a portable Xbox console that can also be stationary. I think that's cool. But no one seems to be doing that yet. Instead, we're getting the PS5 Pro, a grossly overpriced console where things like a stand costs extra to just stand it up. It's insane. And I think that PlayStation is going to be seeing that when they release it. Part of me was wondering, will people even be able to get this console if they want it? Because we've also had problems with there just not being enough and the consoles being underproduced for the demand. But I hope they're producing actually not too many of these, because I don't think any of them are going to sell. How are you justifying what people are going to spend? And this even is relative compared to other consoles, other PlayStation consoles. Like, this is the most expensive console, I believe, even when we adjust for inflation with previous generations of PlayStation consoles that have come out. This is the most expensive one when you adjust for inflation. And it's just insane what they're expecting people to pay for a console. PC runs games better than a console. There's more that you can do with your PC. There's more games that you can get with your PC. You might have to wait a bit for games that are exclusive. But honestly, I don't know. I also just feel like a lot of the exclusive games, I mean, I don't want to say all of them, But I feel like exclusives are also kind of falling off a bit. I feel like we're seeing some of the ends of exclusivity. Although there are still some games for the PlayStation, there are many games over the generations that I've missed out on because I didn't have a PlayStation. So that being said, PlayStation exclusives, PlayStation still might have some of the best exclusives on the market right now. So I will give them that. But I do think we're going to be moving more towards this idea of exclusivity dying out and then consoles dying out. And it's choices like this that companies like Sony are making in terms of just how much they expect people to pay that really make me worry for the future of consoles, but also at the same time make me think, do consoles deserve to exist if this is the path we're going down? I don't know. Are you guys going to buy the PS5 Pro? What do you think of this? Do you think the price point is worth it? Do you think the graphics are that much better? Are graphics really important to you when you play a game? Do you need the ray tracing? I need to know. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Let me know where you stand on this. And, what are you playing games on right now? I'd love to hear about that. Are you a person that has all the consoles, or do you have no consoles? Do you have to pick between one? And how do you decide when it comes down to which console, which platform you want to play on? How do you decide that? That's it for this one, friends. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time, and until then, stay nerdy.